and I call it descripted communication. Descripted means there's a change. It's like a Super Saiyan awakening, where suddenly you feel confident without needing a script. What does the journey involve, sir? It looks very serious. You've got a serious, culturally mysterious. And in this situation, I want this man to open up. And what I want to know is why you dress like this. You look culturally mysterious. Point of negotiation you're going to have. Oh, you're going to try and throw me in a win for you and loss for me situation, aren't you? I don't know. I'm not saying you use humor.
They're smoking weed, so it's not legal, so I don't know. I also felt like a bit sad, like filming and trying to like get amongst it with everyone, so.
How can I disarm someone before I've even said a word? It is to be amongst it. How do you get amongst it? What do you need to do to feel like you have already disarmed someone? Hello, everybody. Welcome, and thank you for your attention in joining and watching this right now. I'm going to try and help you get the best out of people with your words. And the way I'm going to try and do that is by showing you how we planned and strategized to get conversations that no one else was able to obtain from one of Australia's most closed-knit and most difficult communities to enter and extract conversations from. And the place is called Nimbin. Historically, it is known as the weed capital of Australia, and there is thousands of people every year who enter this place in the Northern Rivers on the border of Queensland and New South Wales, and most people leave with the same story. And in this case, that video that was put out on YouTube is heading towards 400,000 views and has had a number of comments that have indicated that we did something different from and for that place than anyone else has done previously. Maybe there are people that have extracted something similar. I couldn't find all of it. And I'm going to show you a bunch of backstory and what it all is and how hopefully by the end of this, you can use some of that information doesn't have to be journalism, doesn't have to be anywhere where you're trying to present information in a form of media, but just knowing the strategies around hopefully something that we did that you can borrow will allow you to extract information to your own value, allow you to disarm someone to get the best out of them, allow you to help someone to relax, allow you to have the techniques to be able to do it in a professional environment where getting someone to share something with you just as an employee or as a colleague can transform your relationship and your level of productivity. So that's the preface. Who am I? I'm Australia's #1 street interviewer. My name is Jasky, and I field test and field research human behavior. That is what I've been doing forever. And in the process, I try and help others become descripted. What does that mean? To become a communicator that no longer needs a script, no matter the situation. I am going to show you a bit of a background here of other people visiting this place, Nimbin. And like I said, for those who may have just joined, Nimbin is historically a very closed off place because people have entered there with cameras all the time. And the hippie movement back in the 70s is what created this unique place in Australia, the second most visited tourist destination in Australia. But no one has ever managed to talk to the people who built it, right? So we were going to go to this place and to try and showcase the perspective of who are these people that created this very unique place in a country where nothing like that exists, okay? So let me begin by showing you what others have tried to do and why it has been so difficult, and then I'll try and showcase how we try to do it differently.
I'll meet you later.
Just did a little walk through Nimbin. Chill, cool place. Quite a lot of the people are really lovely and really welcoming and like, hey, how's it going? But you can also sense that like it's not really a place where you can film because quite a lot of the people there, they're smoking weed, so it's not legal, so I don't know. I also felt like a bit sad, like filming and trying to like get amongst it with everyone, so whilst like I'm trying to, vlog and have a laugh and muck around, I'm also trying to be respectful of people and their privacy, and I don't want to record heaps of people there. So we just kind of had a little cruise through and kind of saw some of the shops, bought a couple things, and yeah, I've never seen anything like that other than like in America where it's legal, but not in Australia. So yeah, it was pretty chill, pretty cruisy. We're gonna see how much the car has been charged, and then after we suss that, we might, there's like a community centre gym here, so we might have a training session and might grab some lunch. But we still got a couple hours to kill, so right now we're just cruising, sussing it out, seeing what the go is, and yeah, see you in a bit.
Okay, so you can see this creator went into the place and wasn't able to extract any sort of information. And some of the things you hear him mention is, oh, we got a couple of hours, right? And I'll explain why that's important. Trying to understand, I think reading between the lines there, it essentially means he was unable with the right strategy or the right plan to actually get what he wanted before going into that location. So you can see a big creator, a lot bigger than our channel, got in there, couldn't get anything, left. Okay. And why I'm gathering that is going to be a lot of, hopefully, what I can break down, how we tried to do it differently, how we strategized to get a positive outcome. Now I'll show you what one of the other creators tried to do. This channel, I believe, is called Sore Heads.
Hello. Hey. You got some wheat and cookies?
So straight away filming the lady, we saw this lady as well. Straight away filming the lady, because this is the final edit, so this could have been removed. You can see that they're filming her approaching them, offering them weed/cookies. Already, that is being on the back foot. Now, if you're filming at that time, of course, you're filming, you don't know what's going to come up, but to put that back in the edit, it's quite interesting for us to see.
What are the cookies like?
Hey, buddy, don't film.
No.
Don't film.
I want.
Now, if you didn't catch that, that man just goes, "Don't film here, don't film here," and then this gentleman here says, "Okay, yeah, sorry, cool."
Oh yeah.
If you come here with no camera, more than welcome. Alone or joined in peace. Anyway, we're fucking here having a couple of beers with the boys.
And again, a similar sort of circumstance. So you see creators come in to Nimbin to try and depending on their channel, try and extract those stories, try and get to what Nimbin is all about. But unfortunately, there is a lot of cock blocking. There is a lot of obstacles for them to get to where they want to go. So there's plenty of comments kicking around mentioning, they deal with enough people like you here. And that was comments when we were putting out that we are going to Nimbin. And it's someone essentially saying, you went in there, blah, 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 but you're lucky enough, and that's not the part. The part is, I would say, if you upset people down there, the locals don't muck around. So the pretext of this place is it can get you into a lot of trouble. And I'm setting that up, showcasing other creators of how they were unable to get anywhere further than just a quick walk and a couple of people who are generally familiar with a lot of people coming in with cameras and then just walking away. Okay, so in a situation like that, and I'm sure you can think of a parallel in your life that you think, hey, if I had the opportunity to go into this situation and get what I wanted out of it, what kind of impact could that make to your goals? And that's how we thought of this. Okay, what are we going there to do? Firstly, what is the goal? We want to know who are these OGs that made Nimbin into the place that it is, that everyone fucking talks about it. Who are those people? And now, let's plan for that, okay? Typically, our filming going into a location is a 24-hour, 48-hour expedition at most. Okay, at most. You go in, time is money, brother. But time is money. So you go, oh, well, we got 24 hours. We have 2 cameramen and potentially other people assisting. Let's go in and we got 24 hours. Let's film the thing and get the hell out, right? And we knew in this situation that is not going to work. Why? Because you run and gun in with cameras. And are you going to build enough rapport with the community that you're able to go, that you're able to going to be able, that you're able to going to be able, that you are going to be in a position to extract what information you want, to meet those OGs, to understand the place, that has fought against the government for nearly 50 fucking years. Are you going to be able to pull that off in a 24-hour filming timeline? And that's what you saw from that first creator, Jaden, who went in and said, look, we've got a couple of additional hours to do this. And unfortunately, the time frame is not the right strategy. And I'll explain to you why. So what we did here is we booked in 3 and a bit days. So it ended up being 3 accumulated, but it was across 4 days. Okay. So 3 days. And day 1, there was no cameras, no microphones, nothing. And why? Because we know, 1, it is a small town. Everyone knows everyone here. Cameras are typically pests, unwanted. Okay. And if in a town where there's generally illicit behaviors, illicit transactions, people are always being judged. I don't think people are like, hey, bring your cameras in, brothers. Let's have some fun. Film everything that's going down. Okay. So strategy 1 was we have to become them. We have to become part of the community. Okay, this comment came into the video saying, you're so lucky to have been taken to the commune. Wow, that's amazing. That's the legend of Nimbin actually took you to the commune. Best episode ever. The Nimbin family have so much to offer than your average normal person, so much more content within them. Fuck me, Rock is spot on as well. Nimbin is full of some of the most awake and knowledgeable people in the bloody country. Going to have to make a visit for some chat time. And those kind of sentiments is what we went there for. And that is, we wanted to feel like we were part of the community. We were there. We were people they saw. We were there often enough. We're walking around. You're seeing this filthy face and this untrimmed mustache as much as you could. And we tried to dress the part. You know, big brands, big jerseys. They're, yeah, I mean, look, whatever, maybe potentially, but we were trying our best. And again, it is not a criticism to anyone. Okay, these creators do a wonderful job, and they're amazing. So I will preface that completely. But we tried our best to be part of them. So day 1, we are dressing as close to what the individuals there would dress like. Even while filming, I got rid of the traditional no color, boring as hell sight screen in a cricket game attire and tried to get something that's a little bit funky, right? Is the only way I can describe it. Colorful, kind of alternative method of looking while still maintaining what I would typically wear in all of our videos. And the cameraman, if you go and watch the video, you'll see had their hair long, scruffy looking, a mustachy sort of beard, like very alternative vibes, both of them dressing kind of differently as you would, because we wanted to assimilate, which is essentially what the entire country keeps saying people are not doing. We wanted to assimilate to Nimbin. It is a small town. Everybody knows everyone. So you can search that prior. It's only a few thousand people. And amongst a few thousand people, you walk in and you rub someone off the wrong way, you're fucked. The whole video is fucked. You're going to get an end product like others have. You're going to go in for the drugs and oh, look at these people selling it. That's garbage. No one wants to, not garbage. No one wants that. That's got nothing, that doesn't achieve anything of substance. Okay. So how do you take that into the situation you want to take it? Because maybe you're not doing street interviews and you're not making weird stuff like I am. That's not your goal. Your goal is to try and feel like, how can I disarm someone before I've even said a word? It is to be amongst it, right? You want to get amongst it. How do you get amongst it? What do you need to do to feel like you have already disarmed someone just by being there and thereabouts? Is it you've got to attend an event a little bit earlier to see the organizers because you want to get to Tim Ferriss, okay? Now, I use a reference that probably no one knows. You want to get to Stephen Bartlett, okay? Maybe more relevant at the moment. You want to get to Stephen Bartlett. You're not going to walk in there and straight up approach Stephen Bartlett. The chance of that is quite limited. And it may work, all that, da da da. But how can you get amongst it to get that access? Well, maybe the person that knows Stephen Bartlett can make that happen and is more likely to not get approached generally. So, how can you be there a little bit earlier and know who that person potentially is and be amongst it? Opening the door to Tim Ferriss, Stephen Bartlett, fucking Timothy Chalamet, whoever that may be. You're not going to get access to them by just running and gunning and being there within a 3-hour period and going, yeah, I'm just going to walk straight up. Everyone tries that. Everyone walks up to Mr. Beast. Not anyone gets access. But Mr. Beast, organizer, agent, assistant, publisher, PR person, booker, event director, whatever, doesn't really get approached that much. And you're not going to know who that is. But maybe if you get there early, maybe if you're there the day before, maybe if you're doing whatever you're doing, get amongst it. And when you're amongst it, I've seen Jasky. He's been hovering around. I had a chat with him. Hey, Jasky, what are you doing here? I know this is near impossible, but I just wanted to kind of say hello to Mr. Beast and potentially get him to share something on our channel. Man, yeah, I think there's about 15 minutes. I'll ask. I'm going to play with you and I'll show you the comments of the person that I'm going to try and play here shortly. Yeah. Okay. So this is the one I wanted to, and I'm going to show this to you. One of the most iconic interviews that we got in this place, which was actually a serendipitous moment. And thereafter we realized it wasn't a serendipitous moment. It was and it wasn't. And I'll explain why. But it was with this individual, Jack, who is the OG, the original, one of the people who was there when the Nimbin movement began. And we got the interview with him and we got to navigate to seeing the commune, the place that he lived, and actually extract his lifestyle to try and understand the kind of person that lives in this space. And all of that happened because of letting people come to you. And the way it happened was, I'm gonna elaborate this next because I feel like I'm jumping a point here. But we spoke to people that open doors to other people. And that always happens. You speak to someone and you say, hey, look, man, I'm starting a new business. I'm starting a new social media agency. Oh, yeah, cool. I don't have any need for that. That's awesome to know. What's your website? Oh, it's called suckagencies.com. What a wild, terrible name. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was awesome. Anyhow, so that person now knows you have suckagencies.com. And then they speak to someone else who's like, yeah, I'm really struggling with marketing. Hey, I met this guy who has suckagencies.com. Why don't you hit him up? Oh, yeah, he gave me his details. Bang, opens the door. Or they just talk about it. Hey, I just met this guy who started an agency. He seems cool. He's kind of hanging out there. Why don't you have a chat? That's how this interaction happened. And that was by being there, by speaking to people who are allowing us to leverage this person. And Jack eventually said, I saw you in the last day or two, and I knew that eventually we would chat. Those were his words. Those were his words. I've seen you guys amongst this town, and I saw the cameras. I saw you guys interviewing. I saw you spoke to this, and this person, and I knew eventually we would chat. So when we crossed paths, and I will play the video later, was I knew that he was having a walk in our direction, and I was walking towards him, and he already was pre-warmed up without us ever seeing each other. I mean, without me seeing him prior to that, without me having any words spoken whatsoever, he was already warmed up for a conversation that made this video, that made one of the most important interactions of Nimbin. And as you can see from the comments, Jack is a legend, Jack is a legend, Jack just proved Jack had the amazing vibes and all of that. So again, get amongst it. Find certain people that are okay to talk to you, and they will open other doors. You are now kind of creating a domino effect. You are magnetizing other people, and enough people and enough references start to start to build, they will open doors to other people, and you won't even know a serendipitous moment, a luck of timing has been created. Now, another really important factor is you are there for an agenda. Everyone is there with an agenda. Okay. We know what goal we're trying to achieve. And what I feel like other people did wrong and we tried not to do is you introduce your agenda step by step. And that seems to work incredibly well in a place where you are going to have a higher level of resistance. Okay. Day one, we did no filming. We did nothing. We didn't even fucking bring out the equipment. We just walked around. We had lunch where people would have lunch. We walked the streets of where people are going to block us. Those people that are actually doing the deals that you saw in the second creator actually talking to them and then being shut off. We spoke to them. We said, hey, what's just general conversations, be seen, be noticed, disarm them without doing anything. And then incrementally, we walked around with the camera. I started walking around with a microphone, not even filming, just hanging out, because that's an introduction to eventually, boom. It's like when you get dental procedure, they build it up step by step. So by the time you get to the final part of the process, you're okay with it. By then, it's like, well, I'm now going to start the drilling. Yeah, you've done the terminology. You've done the scalpels. You've done the knifing. You've done the massaging of floss hair treat. And then the drilling becomes, and you're like, yep, I've done all the steps, and here I am. But had you been introduced to the drilling straight up, you're like, get the fuck this thing away from me. I'm not interested. Get the fuck out. Now, I do want to play the conversation that I'm going to play, but there is a thought that was in my mind that I do want to share. And I think it is something you can take away to hopefully that we've learned over the many, many years, 5,000 plus interviews, having done this across so many different locations, so many different scenarios. And the one thing I've learned is the moment people trust you is actually silent. Now, let me repeat that. The moment people trust you is often silent. The moment they have an ability to open up and say the things, as this is titled, How to Talk to People When No One Else Can, and the moment they know that you're the person that they can open up to is not a verbal interaction. They're not saying, yeah, I love you, brother. It is silent. And what that means is a lot of everything else that culminates to that moment of when that person relaxes and they let all the baggage, all the information, everything that you have been waiting to get out of this interaction, it is all the other pretext before the actual work begins, right? We were there. We spoke to other people. Those other people spoke to the people that we wanted to get to. We needed to see those people. We needed the time to allow us to build the momentum of what we were trying to get to. And then the transition happens in silence. So the moment is always silent, but there is, and what that allows you to do is know what work you need to do to get to the agenda. And that twist is normally silent, meaning your words can do it, but it's typically not the words that get someone to trust you, build rapport, disarm them, connect with them, all the fucking above. So I think I will play you the one interaction so then I can actually get into the details of how that moment transpired to get this interview and then what I knew I had to do in that moment to get what we wanted to get. We wanted to get something out of this. We didn't come in just saying we're just here hanging out. We knew what we wanted to achieve. Our goals were clear. And maybe that is another point. Know your goals. I'm pretty sure I said that, but know your goals coming into the interaction. If you know your goals, then when you're in the moment, you are not having to fumble around, just fuck around trying to figure out what you're actually doing. Your goals are clear in your mind. You set them out, and then you know you have the opportunity to execute on those goals. And it's that wonderful, golden, serendipitous timing that then you're like, yep, this is what I've been waiting for. I'm prepared. I'm ready. And this is what I want to get out of it. Okay. So this is the interaction. This is the moment right before we saw Jack. Jack was one of the iconic characters that made this video as popular and as successful as it has been. And I'll just talk you through what actually happened when that moment appeared, the one that we were looking for in this entire video. Herbal. Should I chase him down? So he was far away. It was a fleeting moment. We were walking down and I saw someone who I thought had a very interesting aura about them. And at that moment I was like, yeah, should I chase him down? And I knew I had to. It was me just preparing myself that I've got to do this now, because this is seems like one of those guys. I didn't know this guy was going to actually be the OG of Nimbin and was actually going to transform the video. And he was such an interesting, absolute legendary character, an amazing communicator, and all of the above. A total incredible human, right? Great guy. But in that moment, I knew that, hey, I'm going for this, and chasing it down, I knew I was going to go for it, but it was just kind of a preparatory moment. Hello, sir. Morning. You look like you were on a... And I've noticed, sorry, I'm pausing again. I'll let it play. I know one of the words that has allowed me to access people a lot quicker is a word of respect. I could yell out, yeah, what's up, bro? Say, hey, dog. Or even hello. Or, hey, how's it going? Hey, what's up? Hey. You could do any of those. But for some reason, when you say, hello, sir, hey, ma'am, hello, ma'am, sir, what's up? You could even do that. I mean, that's probably not ideal. But hello, sir, the designation of a person as sir seems to get the best response as quickly as possible. Because the aim here is to go as quickly as possible, is for me to get into that conversation as quickly without fucking around for too long, without having to jump over other hurdles to warm people up. By sir, I'm already providing a greater status to this person that I believe I want to showcase some respect. So it's just these one single words. You can try and find the words for you. Sir works. Ma'am does really well. And there is a bit of humor into it. And that's okay. Hello, sir. Morning. You look like you were on a journey. We're just filming. And here, you look like you are on a journey. I said that in the moment, and it's not something I had scripted. I never script anything. Typically, I come in prepared, and then it's just going for it. But you look like you're on a journey. And the reason I say that exact word is because, again, I want to get as quickly into rapport and as quickly into the key crux of the conversation that I'm trying to get to. And it is about getting someone's ideology. Okay? It's getting their unique point of view. That is what I'm trying to extract. Okay? In a boardroom meeting, maybe you are trying to extract what point of negotiation you're going to have. So what can you use to get to that as quickly as possible? Oh, you're going to try and throw me in a win for you and loss for me situation, aren't you? I don't know. I'm not saying you use humor, but you know what's happening. You got to call it out. And in this case, hello, sir. I wanted to give him the status. And then, hey, you look like you're on a journey. And I say you're on a journey is because he's going to talk about his journey. And I want that. That is what I want. I don't want to go, hey, brother, what great weather we have today? Yeah, man, it's 36 degrees. It's kind of a bit warm. Oh, yeah, I know it's kind of warm. Like, maybe I feel a bit sweaty. Maybe we should change clothes. How do you wear these warm clothes? Boring as shit. And then I've got to get to where I want to get to. But if I can get to, from that moment, hey, you're on a journey, we're already moving. We're moving forward to where I want to get to. So having the goals clear and then knowing what to say just makes it so much better because you have the level of preparation. All right, let's move. Pause it. And I've ranted for about 6 minutes for playing 30 seconds of the video. How legendary.
I've been on a journey for 70 years at the end of this month.
70 years?
Yeah, man.
Still on a journey?
Exactly.
So already, I know here, we've got something. A man who says he's been on a journey for 70 years. So it's already something incredibly interesting. All right, we've got something interesting. Who says they're on a journey for 70 years? He's obviously turned 70. And I've now got to extract what is that journey. What does a journey involve, sir? It looks very serious. You've got a serious...
you look like heart. Anyway, no, look, I'm a hybrid mongrel, mate, and I came here to live a peaceful life with the all thing. I was a 20-year-old when I rolled in here, 50 years, letting country shape me.
You look like you're, how do I describe it? Culturally mysterious. And now what I'm trying to get in this conversation is this man is on his journey. He's been on this journey for a long time. I want to kind of know, I want to kind of get inside that now as quickly as possible. Now, if we keep talking about the journey and all of that, that's okay. There's no problems with it. It's going to just take me longer to get to where I want to get to. And in this situation, I want this man to open up because he's obviously very fascinating. There is something very interesting here. And what I want to know is why you dress like this. You look culturally mysterious. And that wording may not be the best wording, but it was the best wording I could think of in the moment, is to try and get him to explain now the details, get into the specifics. And I could say, hey, why are you wearing that? Why are you wearing that? It doesn't work as well. Hey, why are you dressed like this? It can work, but you gotta understand we're 30 seconds into this conversation. I don't have much rapport. But then saying culturally mysterious allows me to open it to a few different angles, and then I can pinpoint where I would like to go. And that's why I chose to use that in the moment. Because I know by saying culturally mysterious, he has some sort of ideology. He believes in some sort of culture. He is dressed in a certain way. I am going to get somewhere in the vicinity of where I want to go. And where I want to go is a unique ideology, unique perspective. Why is he here in Nimbin? And then hopefully we get to see an inside view of his world. Okay.
That might be just because I watch carefully where everyone's running to and walk quietly the other way.
Perfect. We got it. Perfect. And I've got to lighten it here. Bit of laugh.
I thought watching the adult confusion and hypocrisy and thinking I don't need any of that. And as soon as I hit the bush or a paddock, it's a happy unit.
And now the moment he mentions I run the other way, and as soon as I hit a bush or a paddock, happy man. And that's amazing, because that is the worldview a lot of people are aspiring towards right now. An off the grid lifestyle. It's like a hypothetical off the grid. Can people even do it? So now in my head, one, to make the video as interesting as possible. Two, to actually get now someone to showcase to us. Well, I'm still on 2. I don't know why I went to 3. 2, to actually showcase to us that looks like. Because now we can talk about it as much as we want. But the best part of this is now to see what that is. Now, video is interesting when it's dynamic. Are we going to be able to see what living in a bush/paddock looks like? Are we? So, can I make that happen? Can I create a situation where that happens? That's what's running through my head here.
See, I get more joy out of weeding and reading than any of this sort of character. You're looking at someone who's never owned a TV or a telephone for f***ing sake.
I think it was awesome. Where do you live? Again, I'm prodding. Where do you live? Because now I know what I actually think is going to showcase the best perspective of the video here, right? That is my agenda. My agenda is to now see it. What is it? And I can't go, hey, can you just take us to your home? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, can you just take us to where you live? No, but allowing the person to volunteer that information is really what I want. Because if he's comfortable, if he knows and likes me enough, I've pre-warmed him up with all the stuff that I mentioned in this video prior to this. And now, does he trust us? I have gathered that connection. You can feel that connection, that moment of silence when someone trusts you. I feel like we've got there. But I need to get the commitment from him to say, yeah, let's go see this unique perspective, which no one has been able to get out of a place like this. Okay. But I need him to come to me with that.
I live on a land trust, 4 k's out of town, within walking distance. It was established in 1983. The farmhouse on that land was one of the farmhouses rented by the Aquarian organising bodies for 18 months before the Aquarius Festival in 73.
Now, that is an incredibly important piece of information. For a lot of you watching, you probably have no idea why that is important. And I'll tell you why. Because enough research that I do realize that Aquarius Festival back in 1973 was the pivotal moment of Nimbin becoming the place that it was. I'll repeat that. that Aquarius Festival was one of the pivotal, most important moments of Nimbin becoming the place that it was. And if this man is living where that is, I now have found the person that I wanted to meet, which was who built Nimbin? Who are these people that were around at the precipice, at the commencement of this unusual movement of this place that has become an isolated bubble within Australia that has remained in the 1970s ever since. And this is the person I was looking for, because that's the perspective I came in for. Everyone comes in for the drugs. Everyone comes in for the potheads and the crazy shit that goes down and people selling it. That's everyone's done it. That's not interesting. That's stupid. That's shitting on the place. We weren't here to shit on the place. We have jokes. We fuck around with people. We have banter. That is forever what we are going to do, because I love that. And that's comedy. But we have now found the person who's talked about the original movement, and he's living in that place. And obviously him talking about it is important to him. So I want to be amongst it. How do we make that happen?
They rented and lived in that farmhouse up there on 87 acres. You should see what we've done with that busted dairy farm up there.
Got it. You should see what we've done with that farm up there. You should see it. As good as an invite as we can get from the legend himself, from the man himself, who is one of the OGs of Nimbin, where most people, thousands of people come in and they leave with the same story in this location. We wanted that completely different story. We allowed extra time. We allowed enough room to warm people up. We allowed enough people to give us enough credence and to talk about us while we're there, to be comfortable, to be one of the people, because we want to showcase the best possible display of this place, while also having fun, while also making it entertaining, and wanted to find the people that built the place and to get to see what their lives are like. And now we have the invite.
It'll blow your mind.
I would love to. I would love to.
We can do that right now.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go. And then we went. Thanks for inviting us. This is so cool to see. Like
Well, I just thought
it actually happened, and we went to the place. So if you watch it in the video, there's a longer version. This is just the shorter version that I've put up here. You get to see the place. He's living. He took us to the commune. He took us where he lives.
rather than just give you a verbal, I'd let you have a look.
And it's all those factors to get to that situation. Okay, a lot of it is luck. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of it's timing. A lot of it's luck. A lot of it is creating those serendipitous moments. We may not have met him. So it's not a pure skill strategy based outcome, but we got to see inside the lives of someone who is the Nimbin local, and here we are. So now we are warm enough with each other that now we can switch the gears to comedy. We can actually have a bit of fun, because we need to make this video funny. That's what we do. We do funny. Okay, there is a level of documentary, but it's funny. So where is your toilet, Jack?
All right. I just think I've just touched it.
And that's the moment, is where is your toilet? Because now let's get to the comedy. And Jack is okay. He knows we're not here to provoke him. We're not here to talk shit about him. We're not here to laugh at his expense. He knows all of that. We've got all the consent. We're all friends. We drove in together. We spent about 40 minutes in a vehicle. Now we can fuck around. I'm not going to touch that bucket. That one is definitely the one that's been used as compost.
Lift that lid off, put it aside, lift the bin out, put a new bin in.
Now, if you hadn't done all this work, no one is going to show you their compost toilet, right? No one is going to do that. So all that work allows for this moment to happen.
Reverse the process.
Never a poo is wasted.
No, well, that's the idea. You're just trying to... Let's see, I use a bit of wood ash.
Yep.
And a bit of bamboo trash. One heat strip like that, as per the instructions here. This is a dry composting toilet. Do not wee in the bin, because you have to have a dry composting toilet. Anyway, I just put that there because the worst thing they can do is wee in my bin.
Amazing, right? So we're now having fun. And now this last part, I'll give you the secret. We then pause and I tell Jack, because here again, I want him to be comfortable. I want him to be involved. So our cameraman / producer speaks to him and goes, "Hey, Jack, we've got an idea for a joke here. Are you up for it?" And he said, "Yeah, man, I'm more than happy for whatever," right? So we obviously make it look like it happened in the moment, but there's a pretext here to set up the joke to make the person feel comfortable, okay? And know what we're going to do next, okay? Amazing. Jack, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for
brother,
inviting
man.
us here. I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah, my simple unreality here. Anyway, you're welcome, and I hope it serves your purposes with your ongoing project, you know?
The only problem is I think I kind of need to go to the toilet now. So you mind if I use your toilet?
No, please go ahead. You're right.
This is going to be uncomfortable. Okay, I'll... Oh. So you can tell from his laughter how relaxed he is, how in the moment he is, and we've got it there to the point of now making this last joke where I try and use a compost toilet. Okay, lift this. Don't wee. Oh, so I've got to go outside and wee. And do I put the wood ash first or after? I'm even confused. There's like a little watering can here. What the fuck am I using to wipe myself? So yeah, that is the entirety of the process and getting to one of the few pivotal interviews that we wanted to achieve, and getting access to a part of this location and place, which isn't isolated to this. And I'm hoping this helps you extract it for your own purposes. There is a little bit of magic that allows you to get those incredible conversations that no one else can. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a summary that hopefully adds a little bit of bonus here of what I keep in mind when using your words and your communication to get the best out of people. Okay, and you change the wording, phrasing for your own purpose. Okay, because I know a lot of you are not doing what I'm doing. And, you know, you're generally sane people. Okay, but if you're insane, just use the wording precisely. Number one, when you are talking to people, curiosity over agenda. You know, if people think you're trying to get something out of them, they will resist. If they feel like you are genuinely curious, they will relax. So the bad approach, which I know a lot of creators do, is walk up to someone and go, "Hey, can I interview you?" That's completely self-serving. Better approach, "Hey, I'm trying to understand this place." Or, "Hey, I see you're going on this journey. What's your journey? What do you curiosity." Okay, I am generally curious. I don't even have to be cognizant of that. I'm just curious. I love knowing about people's lives. But for a lot of people, they come in with agenda as opposed to curiosity. Okay, now start with observation, not questions. Now, walking up to someone and firing off questions, and it'll feel like an interrogation. You are trying to lead people in to a kind of an observation of something, right? Like I said, "Hey, you're on this journey," or "Wow, what kind of people live a very unusual part of unusual life here in this world. Very different." Maybe not use the word unusual, right? So observation shows you're present in the environment. You're not just extracting content, which is again going back to the fact of curiosity versus agenda. And I've had people interview me and they just fire off questions and it becomes repulsive. It's not, you are okay to ask questions, but the way to do it is through a little bit of observation. And then don't label people. Had I gone up to Jack and gone, "Hey, are you a hippie?" It's terrible. But you can let that person describe themselves. So what kind of journey are you on? "Oh, I'm a hybrid mongrel," or whatever he described himself as. He let himself describe them, right? Um, and then allow the person to get you where you want them to go without explicitly having to communicate it. In this case, where do you live? How is it like? Keep prodding to where you want to go. So be clear, keep prodding to where you want to go. And then allow the person to just suggest it. "Hey man, by looking at this place, it'll blow your mind. Come on, man, let's go. Let's go." And I think the most important thing, which I seem to state in a lot of these videos, is you got to just stay calm for as long as possible. Last couple of quick ones. People are not subjects, they're your collaborators. Just that reframe helps you. They're collaborating with you. We're collaborating here with Jack. He's not my subject. He's not someone I'm just going to extract something from and, fuck him off, right? That's not what we're going for. He's collaborating with me. How do I get him to collaborate? We've merged together to make this even better. And then what you will notice in a lot of my interviews, this is a process that I use, is you got to listen a lot more than you talk. I'll repeat that because people struggle with it. Listen a lot more than you talk. And that, again, there is an overarching level to that. Go one step above. Listen to the place. Listen to the people. Listen to the cadence of everything that's going on amongst, listen to the pulse of where you are more than just verbally communicating. The most powerful people in a room speak the least. And the less you speak, the more important your words become. Okay? The more you talk, the less people put any sort of important measure or any weight on those words because you're just fucking just regurgitating them. You're just verbal diarrheaing them. So the less you talk, the more important your words become. And I guess a simple line that I can mention with, but before I even get to that, is this is an important practice that I think everyone can try and have. If you can build this practice, I honestly feel there is no more important practice, and that is to get better at being able to communicate without needing a script. And I call it descripted communication. Descripted means you feel a change. There is a video that I've done in its entirety. You can go and watch it on the channel if you'd like. There's a change. It's like a Super Saiyan awakening where suddenly you feel confident without needing a script. Everyone in communication is going to teach you a script. When you can become a descripted communicator, it transforms you. It transformed me. I now don't need to rely on a crutch, a training wheel of a script to go into a situation, but I am adequately prepared to do it no matter what the situation is. And again, in that video, there's a whole outline of things I think you can do to make it better for your life in every facet. You can layer it on top of anything, be it a plumber, be it an accountant, be it a desk worker, be it whatever. Right? You don't have to be a communicator, but having that skill is so much more valuable for your earning, for your opening of doors, and all of the above, right? And also, I am running a 16-week to 26-week program, depending on where someone is starting. And unfortunately, there is not a lot of places for people to get onto that training with me, myself, and a couple of other people that are part of my team. And you can go on the website, jasky.me, and apply for that 16-week program. The catch there is you can win your money back if you hit the goal. And the goal is just a matter of actions. If you do the actions, you will hit the goal. Okay, so I only want people that are ambitious and wanting to do it because it's in my interest to learn to get these people better. I get better, and hopefully I can get better people that can work with me. Okay, so it's a 16-week program. It'll be on the website, jasky.me, and there's links in all of the other places. If you want to apply for that, a lot of people won't be accepted. Unfortunately, I only have a limited capacity. I'm kind of busy focusing on this shit. But I do want to work with people. And if you do want to get down to if you do want to apply for that and have me do it, you don't have to do it on your own if you like. There is an entire roadmap in that other video. But I want to summarize the whole thing is most people think strangers don't want to talk. In reality, most people just don't want to feel judged. Okay? That summarizes the whole thing. Let me do it again. Most people feel like strangers do not want to talk. Most people feel like people in positions and situations and high status and different variations don't want to talk. In reality, most people just don't want to feel judged. Thank you very much. Take care, and we will see you on the next one.